Alright, welcome back to the last set of puzzles from Sokoban the RPG. We'll be tackling the residential area, is how I like to call it. From here on out, the puzzles will be generally very challenging. There's no easy puzzles anymore. We really have to use our heads here. So also for this first puzzle, you need to arrange the blocks in a 4x3 rectangle, but in a very peculiar way. And there's a very specific way to get them in these precise locations. So you can see that this place right around the corner, that's a hard one to fill, right? So you might want to do that one first. Now, you can also see that this third space is hard to fill because you will need to like walk around. But now these last two are actually, easier because you can do them immediately. You can do it like this, and to fill the second one, you can move it. You can move the right boulder into the right location. So yeah, I think this is the most sensible order to do it in. Excellent. Yeah, we get a save after every puzzle here. So this puzzle is very tiny, but it's not to be underestimated. It's a miracle that it works, honestly. You need to use your space very wisely. And then the trick is to do the following. You need to complete the bottom like this, and then you can move this one back to move this one in, and then somehow it all magically aligns. I just love this puzzle a lot. The path appears to end here, and all you can see is a deep hole in the ground. The bottom is completely obscured by darkness. Jump in. Yes. Here goes nothing. Alright, so this puzzle is actually not that difficult. It's just... yeah, there's just a lot of boulders. You need to move very carefully not to create any squares that lock the boulders into their positions. So yeah, I kind of do this one by feel mostly. Because at some point you want to move these things at the bottom. So you kind of want to create a way to fill this top spot, because you need to be in the center to push like this top one out. But you also want to have a way back to the right side. So you need to create a little bit of space in order to have a pathway on the right. So let's first just push out these sides a little bit. Create some space. Alright, so now we're free to do this, and we can still access everything. Yeah, don't think I really wanted to do that. So we're free to do this. Like, we can get these out of the way. This one, a lot of space down here, so let's get these top ones into position now. Alright. Yeah, now we can basically slot in the rest. Yeah, so this puzzle is mostly being very careful not to block anything in, because the creating actual pattern isn't overly difficult. this puzzle, there's a lot going on here. First, let's take a look. On the shelf are arranged a wide variety of books about medicine and other related topics. That's odd. Most bookshelves I encountered so far only held books regarding mathematics and economy. Why might there be different ones here? Curious indeed. Curious indeed. Yeah, so this puzzle has a lot going on. It's a little tricky how to start, and then again to actually get them in these very specific locations. You're gonna have to be very careful. So yeah, let's first try to see if we can get some things to start moving. The first thing you need to observe is actually that you can create a walkway here. Like so. Excuse me, like so. Alright. But we can't... Yeah, so this area needs to have a couple of boulders in a minute, but we can't quite push them there yet because we need to be able to walk like from the bottom here to push the boulders up. So as far as we can currently push these boulders like somewhere over here, and we also see that we can't quite push any of these out just yet because we will need to push them up, but we can't do that from this side. So first we need to create a little bit of space by getting one of these boulders over here. Okay. So now that's done, we can open up this like so. Alright. Yeah, so now we have some space to maneuver, so we can also get this one out. And it might be a good moment to start counting. Because we see that in order to get these in, this little walkway here, it has to be free. Like we need to push the boulders in like this. But once this particular spot here is blocked, we can no longer push boulders into this area. Which means that when we fill this, we need to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boulders stored in this area. And now currently we have 5, which means that we need to store 1 more boulder. Unfortunately, there seems to be 1 more space to store a boulder. Right. Like so. Now we have stored 6 boulders in this position, and we can use this circle to actually push the boulders to this side. So let's do this. But we have to be careful at the same time, because this top boulder here, it still needs to move before, of course, we fill up this this walkway. So now we are actually, now we're good to go. So yeah. Oh my goodness, did I mess up? I messed up. That sucks. Oh no. I wasn't paying attention. I was explaining things too much. Okay, let's redo this real quick. So, what we do is we push this one out, we push this one up, push this one in, push this one back, push this one like that, this here, like so. Here, 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 here. Then we did something like this and this. there, and this one here, and here, and yes. Alright, so now we actually use our heads for once, and we are like, okay, we still need to move this top one before we start filling up the area, so why not use this space again to actually store the boulder for a second. Right, so you just peel it off the top wall using the space you need, and then you can freely start filling up this area here. So yeah, sorry for my screw up, just there. This goes to show that the puzzles are getting they're getting trickier. You need to take care of a lot of things at the same time. You need to pay attention very closely to what you do. Okay. Now that's filled up. We need to be a little bit considerate about how we are going to finish this. Because it's quite hidden. But this space here, where I'm standing now, is very special because you can't really reach it from any position other than where the boulder on top of me is. But if there wouldn't be a boulder there, there was also no way to actually get the boulder there. Like if I would move that boulder, if I would do something like this, I would be screwed because it would be impossible for me to fill this space. So there's also another facility you need to take into account. So yeah, let's fill up the space below the table. And now it's basically you can just finish the job. So this is as good a time as any to start filling up this area. So you take these two come in from the bottom. And I do this now because I don't want to do this at the end, because the door is on this side. I need to be there in order to complete it. So yeah, now we are actually on the exit side when we complete the puzzle. So yeah, this is a difficult puzzle. Like there's a lot going on here. Not easy at all. It actually took me aback as well. So yeah. Okay, so this puzzle has it's a little bit more straightforward. What has to happen? Like you're given this big space on this side, and you see, okay, I don't need to fill. I'm not allowed to fill this one before I get all of these boulders into the top area. But in order to fill this, I actually need to walk around this area. So I just need to clear all the boulders in such a way that this walking area is free. Occupy this one and then put them back where they should. Alright, so let's get this one out of here. I can't quite push the boulders into this vast open area because I will need to walk through this pretty jammed in area, and there's precisely one way to get this out, I think. I still can't quite walk through, but this one has to move anyway, so let's do that immediately. Now I wonder, how do we get through this area. We can put them slightly more efficiently like this. There. Now we have a lot of space. We can get all these boulders all the way over there. And these here. Now we just need to move all of them. Like so. Right. Now it may be wise to think about, do we want this boulder here or here? I don't think it matters. No, it doesn't matter. Let's just leave it there. So now we can finally occupy this spot here down here, and now we can basically just fill up the whole thing. Excellent. Now comes one, probably my favorite track in the game. Starts playing this puzzle. It means that we're already halfway through. This is not an easy puzzle. There's a lot going on. As essentially with all the Sokoban puzzles in this section of the game. The top area looks a bit funny, but what it essentially means for us is that we can only traverse this top walkway from right to left and not the other way around. And we see that we are allowed in the end to like block in this whole area. But of course, and before we can push a boulder up here, this boulder here needs to be cleared. So let's try to make some room. There. Okay. Now. You also see that if you want to push a boulder up, this particular boulder here, it has to move. So let's move it neatly out of the way. Alright. Now we can do this. Let's just keep moving stuff to the right, but we can't push it up just yet because on the left hand side there's still stuff that needs to move. We still need the upper walkway. To open this up. And then we also see that this boulder here needs to move as well. So we also need to move that using the upper walkway. And now everything is sufficiently shifted through that I don't think we need the upper walkway anymore. We can basically just take these boulders and start putting them in their locations. There you go. Alright. Now this puzzle... I think it's fair to say that this puzzle in this version hasn't quite achieved its full potential just yet. I actually made a different version of this puzzle at some point, which is a lot better in terms of design, because in this puzzle it seems like there's a lot going on and that you need to take a lot of things into account, but in reality it's actually fairly straightforward to actually solve. And the reason is that you can actually, if I recall correctly, you can just fill up the fireball immediately. Like, you don't have to worry about it at all. There is some interesting geometry going on down there though. So you need to move the boulders through in order to clear up enough space to push this one out. And once that one is out, you have a lot more freedom to move. And you can see that the boulders, they all need to come in from here. So that creates a bit of a tension between this spot and the current location of this boulder, because you kind of need, one needs the other. But of course we can store two boulders down here to fill up these, and then we could walk around to fill up that. So that's what we're going to do. Also fill up this. And now we do this first. And then this. And these. So yeah, this puzzle is a bit deceptive. It may seem that there's a lot going on, but truthfully it's not that complicated. It just looks more complicated than it actually is. This may be the largest puzzle in the game in terms of area. And there's a lot of boulders. 12. You need to take into account. But in reality, most of the areas here aren't that important. Like the most important part is this chamber right here. First you need to make your way through this mess, like so. But you did pay a price. Like, you put these two balls in the corner, and especially this one will prevent you from getting easy access to this area here. Because when we push this one down, we'd be stuck. So what we need to do is actually free up. We need to free up some space before we can actually push that one down. And we see these little squares here, which means that this space, even though it may look full, isn't really full yet. Like, it can still, there's still room for one more boulder. And you can see that if I shuffle things around a bit, that we indeed created some space to occupy one more boulder like this. Now this one can just be pushed to the side like so that we have our walkway, and we can finally start pushing things in here. So that was essentially the main trick of the puzzle. From here on out, it's a lot of pushing. But you need to be careful that you don't block in any areas in the process. So all the boulders need to come in from here, which means that we need to clear up this top area. So now let's move this one over here. So that we can safely do this and of course still be able to get around here. And we can walk all the way around this huge thing and put the second boulder into position. Now there really isn't any substantial difficulty left. Now it's a lot of walking and a lot of pushing, which, you know, if you have a large Sokoban puzzle, it's inevitable. Like I've said before, large Sokoban puzzles, even when they're large, they can contain very clever ideas and ways of managing your space. So like what happened over there. But yeah, in order to force a proper puzzle, there has to be a set of sensible goal locations. So you just need to complete the puzzle by doing the pushing, by doing the manual labor. Fortunately, you can run in this game, so it shouldn't be that bad, honestly. It goes fairly fast. You can probably clear everything out in like 2 minutes. Probably not the most interesting thing to watch. So we need to progress. And we're going to play by the rules. We're going to complete the game as is. No cheating. And the last one. There we go. There we go. We solved it. Excellent. Alright, so now this is the penultimate puzzle. And it's probably the hardest in the game, honestly. This is probably the most difficult puzzle in the whole game. Yeah. When I made this puzzle, like, for a long time, I had some additional storage area somewhere in this corner because I couldn't solve it without extra space. But as it turns out, you can actually do it. I kind of want to revise this puzzle sometime, because there is a couple of, there's a couple of dead spaces. Because I think you must immediately block those in. But yeah, you need to be careful about not blocking in this area, of course. This is something you can do. And then this is something you can do. And if I recall correctly, do I even remember though? Let's take a look together. In order to get any of these boulders here into this bottom area, this particular boulder I'm looking at right now, it has to move. That's a fact. Unless, of course, we keep this walkway open, which, we can do. That's all fine. We can put this one down. So we can do this, I guess. But what does this give us? Not sure. Yeah. Excuse me. Maybe this is a better idea. Opening up this area. Is that a good idea? I think so. You can get this one out of the way. Right, that's this thing you can do. And you can also get this one out of the way. Sort of. Yes, this looks good because I remember that there is this very specific point in time where you leave some of the bottom areas like free and we just full on commit to the top. You need to rid all these excess boulders. You just need a place to put them because there's just not enough space to proceed otherwise. I think this is the point where we just put them all at the top. That takes some audacity. Because now there's a lot of space. We can move this one out of the way. But maybe push it through for a second. So kind of right. Yeah, okay. This looks good. So now, whoops, we finally resolved this issue with these boulders right there, and hopefully we can now just put them in one by one, letting them walk the whole walk to these positions in the middle. There's probably different solutions to this puzzle than the one I'm presenting here. But this was the solution I half recreated from memory, half came up with on the spot here. I'm pretty sure it works, right? Yeah, this is a difficult puzzle because I am fairly certain that this thing I did at the top at some point, blocking off that area. I think it is necessary to solve the puzzle. Don't quote me on that, but I really do think that you can't do it without blocking off the top area in precisely the right moment. You need to do some preparation work before you can do it. You need to do some work. It's not easy. But once you've solved this beast, and then finally you arrive by the last puzzle, and this is less difficult. The last puzzle is less difficult than the penultimate puzzle because I thought it would be nasty to be like stuck on the last puzzle instead of second last. That's basically most the reasoning behind most of the penultimate puzzles being the most difficult over the last one. But it doesn't mean that this puzzle is easy. Like, you still need to think it through. And the most, so most of the puzzle revolves around getting a boulder in the position I'm standing on right now. You need to get a boulder there. So if I recall correctly, you need to move this one out. Like so. And you need to create space for the... Yeah, so you can push this one there, so you need to create space. Now you have a fair bit of space. Maybe not quite enough. Because if you want to fill this area, you need to push a boulder to the top, which you can basically only do by coming from the bottom here. And having him push down and then pushing up, but then being able to walk through this area to walk like around like this and pushing it. So I need a lot of free space. And these are the positions that give you enough space. Right. And now that you've done this, you need to be careful about the position of that boulder. But you've done most of the work. You've done most of the work already. There's a little shuffle here. Careful. You need the stop area to push the boulder down. But you need to have 3 boulders down, like this one, and the one, yeah, so you need one more boulder to be pushed down. Right. Right, so now we have a space for this field and for this one. And we can't push any more boulders down, and these top 3 they can go here and on these 2 spaces. So yeah. Oh my goodness, I messed up. I should not have pushed this one out before moving this one. Annoying. But it's completely my own fault. So let's put these in the position that you can actually walk around them, like so. This one here. This one down here. This one down. This one like so. Like so, like so. And like this. Like this. Right. Almost made the same mistake right there. Whew. Put you back, right. Then do the shuffle. Okay. And yeah, I'm saying this puzzle is easy and still messing it up. It's not easy. I just don't think it's as difficult as the previous one. So not yet here. There. You come. Okay. You go there. Now I put you into position and I put you back up. Okay. Now we do this flip. Wait. No. and then do it right. Or no, I'm just being blind. Okay, so this, do this at the same time, of course. Up again. Careful. We're still not out of the woods. This space is a little bit, yeah, subtle to actually get. So one place we can fill up for free and we don't have to worry about this. Now these last 3 positions, you need to think about them briefly. I can't commit this one just yet. I need to leave this one right there. Then I can commit this one to the corner. Put this one here. And for that particular move, I needed to have the bottom free. And now we can finish it. Nicely at the end of the track as well. Just go ahead and change in the bathroom. I'll take your dress and lay it behind one of the curtains. Okay, that. Yes, I think it's probably a good idea to save more of the story, like the end of the story and the end of the game for like the last episode. So this episode has just been me solving the 10 most difficult puzzles from the game, and we have solved all Sokoban puzzles from now on. It's the story. So if you're interested to see that, you can tune in the last episode. But if you if you got stuck during these last 10 puzzles, I hope this video was helpful for you. Like even though I may have messed around a fair bit while trying to solve my own puzzles, hopefully you will be able to use it to actually advance if you're really stuck but you're curious about the ending. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.